That's what we thought, I thought it was between, we had to decide between 5 and 3.
Get a new microphone.
Thought 3 was better.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
It's off.
No, it's not.
This
That's
weekend.
It's red. Oh, really? Isn't red off?
right, Shelby?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep, you're right. I'm wrong.
At least that's what they tell me to do it.
It's not over yet.
Let's call this meeting to order. Let's all rise for a flag salute, please.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember DePamphlis.
Here.
Councilmember Dill.
Here.
Councilmember Garrity.
Here.
Councilmember Johnston. Here. Councilmember McGuigan.
Here.
Councilmember Owen.
Here.
Council President Habercorn.
Present. Also present is Mayor Tapp, City Clerk Heath, City Solicitor Smith, and City Engineer Snyder. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. The agenda for this meeting is posted in City Hall and on the city's website, summerspointgov.org. Pursuant to City Code A266-8P, and to afford everyone an opportunity to address the governing body, the public may speak only one time and not to exceed 3 minutes. We are pulling one item from the agenda tonight, that is resolution number 136. I do have a communication real briefly back from the planning board review of the proposed redevelopment plan for 90 Broadway. Mr. Cates offered his opinion that the redevelopment plan is consistent with the city's master plan. This motion was approved by a vote 6-0. 3 members were absent, so that was at last night's planning board. Any other communications? Not hearing any other communications. Mayor Tapp,
Present.
please give your report, thank you.
Just a couple things. You know, as you know, we got Memorial Day coming up Monday, and I'm inviting everyone to take part in the annual Memorial Day Parade. Starts at Dawes Avenue at 11 o'clock, goes down Shore Road, comes up New Jersey, goes down Veterans Way, and ends up at the Patriots Park for a ceremony to follow. What I would like, if you do go to the parade, take a look. We've now installed the Hometown Hero banners. And if you take a look, you'll see a lot of younger people that you already know. It's amazing how much they've aged, but I think that it's very great. That's very nice. You know, they really do. They pay tribute to the local veterans and the active service members. They'll list their name, their branch, and I think it's a great look for the town. And if you take your time, if you have opportunity to take a look at that, please do. Number one, and of course, this is not a surprise, Pat. Shore Road repaving schedule. So what happens here is that the county was supposed to have Arrowac repave from the bridge all the way to Annie on Shore Road. They postponed that for this week. They are now scheduled, and correct me if I'm wrong, June 9th, correct?
That's correct.
Monday, June 9th. So,
At night.
at night,
That night, wow.
we got that going for us.
There you go.
All right, and then really lastly, I want to recognize the Summers Point Beach Concert Series as they were awarded the best outdoor concert series in America for 2025, according to USA Today, and that's for the second time. I want to extend my thanks, our thanks, to the Beach Concert Committee. You know, their commitment was, I'm talking to them now, your commitment was to put Summers Point back on the map as a premier destination for live music, and I'm looking forward to see how the 2025 season works out.
That's great, congratulations. Do we have anybody here tonight from the Beach Concert Committee? No? Okay. But let's make sure that when we see them, we thank them all for all they've done to become number one.
And that is the end.
Sorry to jump in on you, Mayor.
No, don't let it happen again.
I won't. Are you done?
Yes, I am finished.
Solicitor Smith, do you have anything?
I have two items to go over. Councilman McGuigan brought to my attention that the city had entered into an agreement relative to what I would call the Fuji Exxon over catty corner from Gregory's concerning waiving of interest and penalties. This occurred back in September of 2019. It was to enable the purchaser to actually be able to renovate the place. There's a reduction of approximately $45,000 from the $113 that was owed at the time. I assume the taxes are being paid at the present. I didn't look into this, but the agreement indicates that had they don't comply with the 1 year date and moving forward, then the $45,000 would then go back on as a lien on the property. We would need to pass a resolution authorizing the tax collector to put that on. And so I just I bring that to everyone's attention. If anyone wants to talk about it with me, or you want to have a discussion now, I don't know how everyone feels about that, but
Do we know why they haven't proceeded, or?
I have no idea. I no idea. I mean, that's up to a personal business operation. We can only do what we can do as a city.
And this goes back to 2019, 2020, is that correct?
September 2020 would have been the date that they would have had to have completed the renovations. I mean, they purchased a liquor license, which I do know, and that liquor license does sit on that property. I have no idea why it's not there, but I can give the owners, I guess, as well as the attorney listed on the agreement. I can give them notice that the city intends to pass a resolution making this a lien again. Anyone?
Should we reach out to them first?
Yeah.
Maybe and see what their intentions are? Maybe we can put a fire under their butt, or,
I think at least
Yeah.
warrants a phone call, just to, in case there's some extenuating circumstance that we don't know about.
Yeah, I think that's, Tom, just reach out, see what their response is, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
Especially since you-
Everybody okay with that? I'm sorry.
I'm going to formally do it by letter.
To the
Yeah,
attorney.
Whatever way is the
Put
best
something in
way.
writing, and if I get no response, I get no response.
Okay.
Phone call, email,
Okay,
missed.
sounds good. Anything else?
Yes.
Mr.
Second
Smith.
thing, since we were on the topic of the beach concert series, we're limping along, and they have provided me with an accord sheet and insurance certificate. They've also provided me with the surety bond that they obtained from Travelers that was dropped off today. I received in contracts for all the events. Only three are executed by both sides. There's a problem with all of the contracts because it doesn't include the language from 6G indicating the city of Summers Point is not a party to the contract and has no financial obligation to the party entering into this contract with Tony Mark Cares. And why that may be important is because on one of the ones that he was sent by an outside vendor, he being Carmen Murata, does purchasers listed as Summers Point, and also lists the address of the city of Summers Point. And then another one which was executed does reference the city of Summers Point as being the purchaser, so they have to be corrected. So we're getting there. I'm just waiting on the contracts now.
So the next step then is to reach out and get those,
Get those contracts straightened out, and so we're moving along.
okay?
Yeah, one other item, he has requested an additional date of September 12th, I believe it is, or September 13th, the Friday.
It's the 12th.
I'll pull it up real quick.
12th.
The Friday after Good Old Days picnic, and I can prepare a resolution amending the agreement. It just, I get a straw vote today. If you want to do it one more week,
Anybody opposed to it, or everybody
September 12th.
everybody over here?
No?
Everybody
Are we
good?
obligating the police department, or should we check with them, or?
I did get something in writing from the police department indicating they weren't intending to proceed on that date.
No, not the PAL, but the police department.
Police department itself.
That's not up to me, that's up to this body.
Yeah.
So that shouldn't be directed to me, that should be directed to your peers.
Yeah, let's,
If you don't mind.
You were soliciting a vote.
I don't run any.
You were soliciting a vote, that's all.
I would be happy to reach out to the chief to see if we could have the police for that, if everybody's in agreement and that's the only hangup.
No, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you-
I will reach out.
I can do
Yep.
a resolution amending this.
I will reach out to the chief tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
I do have one more question in reference to the concerts. A few times in the past probably the past 2 years, we've talked about changing the parking lot so that at least a portion of it was closed off so the vendors could be safely in the parking lot rather than the ice cream trucks here, the kids are lined up behind it and the cars are backing up. We talked about possibly at least blocking off half the parking lot, putting the vendors there, and I think this year there's only
There's
3, but,
Three vendors, from what I
Right.
understand.
Right.
And that really is I would think, a public safety operation.
Right.
The police department, not
Right.
right,
body.
right.
So,
Well, I'm asking the Public Safety Committee then to,
I don't think you need to do it this.
I'll be happy to reach out to the chief on that one, too.
Having the conversation.
the chief is already aware of it because we had spoken a couple times about it, so I know that he
I'll
knows
just make him
what.
aware of it again and see what
Yeah.
his reaction is.
My fear is somebody's going to get hurt. Every year I stand there and watch, and it's really scary. So, thank you.
That's all I have, thank you.
All right. Greg?
Just 2 items. The first is Bell Avenue. Bell Road was finally repaved, so that project's just going to be punchless items after that. The city also received correspondence to the city clerk about bus station solar light retrofits for 3 of the bus stations, the one at Acme Carriage House and your Prima Pizza. New Jersey Transit wanted to know if the city was interested in having New Jersey Transit install solar lights for lighting at those bus stations.
And this is only for lighting, there's no charging stations or
No
anything
charging.
like that? Would-
The clerk received that correspondence, and then I followed up with them relative to the questions that President Habercorn just mentioned. And there are no, it's just the lights and so forth. So
Okay.
I can forward that to the information to you. They also provided a cut of the lights.
Okay.
Because I guess the agreement obligates us after 3 years.
Yeah, to maintain it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can take a look at that, and I don't know whether we'd have to do a resolution to accept them.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if
Yeah.
the council was interested.
Yeah.
before-
Will they do all of them, or just those 3? Do we have
Just 3
5?
because those are the ones that are in direct sun that they.
Oh, I see,
Those
okay.
are solar.
For solar, yeah, okay.
Greg, what's involved typically if you have to do maintenance to a solar like that? I'm not familiar. Is there could it be a big expense? Is it a minor expense, just in your experience?
From what I've seen, it's just a kit, basically it captures the light and stores it, and then the light's right near it. It's not a big expense. It actually says here that after 3 years, Summers Point will be giving retrofit kits for maintenance, so they get an extra one for replacement. So I don't think they're a big expense, but they would have an extra one after 3 years, it says.
I mean, just to get a straw vote here, I think, from my perspective, it's a public safety thing and would be good because it would be light. Anybody disagree with that?
No, I agree.
So is everybody okay if we do a resolution at the next meeting
Sure.
for that?
Light them up.
Light 'em up, there you go, all right. All right, Mr. Smith, we'll need a resolution for that at the next meeting then.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'll work with our solicitor.
Thanks, Greg.
Anything else, Greg?
No, that's it.
Greg, there was a lot of trucks over there on Ballard today. They were all lined up.
Yeah.
It was nice to see them getting done over there.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any committee reports?
Council President?
Go ahead.
Oh, you already started.
We'll go
that.
this side.
Okay. I have a couple. School board, I've actually been to the past two meetings. I wasn't here at this meeting last month, so I couldn't report. But obviously, the big subject, the first meeting was the budget, which I just wanted to say after reviewing it and everything that they talked about, I do believe the school board worked really hard to do the best they could with what they had to work with, because the cuts were astronomical. And I also wanted to give a shout out to Shore Memorial Hospital, because they did step up and give the school $35,000 so that they could keep their security officer there. So thank you to Shore Memorial. They also gave out their monthly Student of the Month awards and their Teacher of the Month awards, and the last one, they did the Teacher of the Year awards. And that's just always fun to see. The kids are just so cute, smiling, and the parents and the grandparents, and it's always just a nice little thing that they do. Also, on Shore Memorial, I attended the, I guess it was a press conference for opening up the new sensory center, and I know that, that we had the representative here and you talked about what you were doing there, but until you see it and until you hear how that happened and how long it took and how many people it took to get that done, it's absolutely amazing. I get a chill just thinking about it now, but they started that. That was a true commitment to your staff and the community, the gentleman that raised the funds from Mike Seafood to build it. It was a 6-year project, and they didn't give up on it. So I want to commend the hospital for that, because it really is, if you get a chance to somehow get through it or see it, it's amazing. So thank you for that. I attended as a board member of the League of Municipalities last month's meeting. I just wanted to put something on our radar. I'm sure Mr. Frost is probably aware of this, but effective in 2027, we're going to our website is going to have to be ADA compliant, which means it has to be compliant for anyone who has maybe a hearing site, whatever. They have to be able to go on there and use our website. And it's 2026 for the county, theirs has to be, but 2027, any town with population under 50,000 has to be done by 2027. So I just want to put that on our radar. It is going to be an expense. They did say the suggestion was to at least start it now, and so you can do it a little bit at a time, so it's not all at the end where you're panicking. It does take time to set up, and so I just wanted to put that on council's radar to make sure we're compliant with that. I do have the contact of the gentleman that spoke if we want that.
Thank you.
And I have one more thing, and I'm done, I promise.
You're fine.
The Summers Cemetery, right by Great Bay Country Club, Great Bay Villas, which is where I live, so that's why I happen to notice. The Kiwanis, the Egg Harbor Township Key Club, Jordan Road School, St. Joe's, they got together and with the Kiwanis leadership, and they're cleaning up the cemetery. They're painting the fence. It's already half painted. They're going to finish the other half this Saturday or next Saturday. And it just looks great, and I just want to commend them for stepping up. And I don't know why or what drew their attention to it, but as you know, it's always been an issue as to who's supposed to maintain that. And I just thought it was great that they stepped up and they're cleaning it up, and the fence looks great. So
It's always nice to see that beautification, right?
yeah, absolutely.
I should have mentioned, Mr. Frost will be here. He is actually attending his daughter getting an award at school tonight, and when
Oh, okay.
Council Member Johnston said it, it dawned on me that's where he is, so he'll be shortly.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.
Mr. Owen?
Yes, Council President Habercorn, Summers Point Arts Commission, we met here this past Monday. Always great bunch of volunteers, come up with great ideas and everything. Coming up in June, they're having a workshop called Facing the Creative Self. with the instructor Betsy Numchuck. This workshop is intended for the immediate levels. We'll introduce the sketchbook and demonstrate how to use it as a tool for projects and individual development. Only 10 spots are available, so don't delay. It's $100, but break it down, it's $25 per session. It's going to be coming up June 7th, every Saturday coming up in June 7th, 14th, 21st, and 28th, from 10 to 12 noon at the Senior Recreation Building. That's what I have.
Thank you.
All right.
Any other committee reports?
Mr. Habercorn?
Yes, Mr. McGuigan.
The Buildings and Grounds Subcommittee continues to look at our aging facilities, particularly this building, and we've reviewed and discussed many different options, and we continue to explore those options. One of those options is to engage a developer into some sort of private-public-private partnership, private-public partnership. And to that end, we have considered engaging an attorney, since that is rather a complicated process that we're somewhat unfamiliar with. So we have advertised or put an RFQ on our website seeking that type of attorney. If, in fact, it becomes the recommendation of the subcommittee, we will bring that back to the full body here for your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other committee reports?
I had a committee report, but you gave it already, about the planning board.
Oh,
So
sorry.
that's that's
Sorry
no
to
problem.
step on your
I
toes.
know, I just want to let you know, the public know that I was prepared, but you covered it and did a nice job. Thank you.
Thank you.
One other thing, Mr. President.
I told
you.
If I may be so bold, my phone just reminded me that tomorrow
Oh, God.
is the mayor's 75th birthday. And I wish him a happy birthday. Thank you. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah. Happy birthday.
64.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Anything else for committee reports? Not.
I'll be at the Oreos afterwards. Anyone can buy me whatever you want.
Okay, I need a motion and a second to approve the regular meeting minutes of May 8th, 2025. May I have a motion?
I'll make that
May I
motion.
have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Hearing no comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, the above.
I'm recused from that vote because I was not here on the 8th, so, okay.
Thank you. It's going too quickly. Ordinances, we have two ordinances on for tonight. Both are first readings. Madam Clerk, number 12, please.
Ordinance 12 of 2025, an ordinance authorizing the lease of real property owned by the City of Summers Point to the Summers Point Police Athletic Activities League, Inc., a New Jersey 501c3 nonprofit corporation.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir, Mr.
I wish to
McGuire.
recuse myself from this consideration on this ordinance, as I'm a proud member of the PAL.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mr. Council President, I would just
Yes, sir.
like to say that the PAL has really expanded itself and its programs, and they're a credit to this community, and I'm more than willing to support this ordinance.
All right. Any other comments from anybody? No? Not hearing any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed. Ordinance number 12 is introduced. Ordinance number 13, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance number 13 of 2025, an ordinance amending Article 5, registration and inspection of certain rental units, apartment units, and dwelling units, Chapter 169-47, subparagraph G of the Municipal Code of the City of Summers Point to revise the minimum duration for short-term rentals.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any comments?
I will be voting no for this ordinance. This is a subject that we discussed to the nth degree. Committees worked on this, we did our research, we made a decision, and changing the duration does not fix anything, it just causes more aggravation for the owners, and I don't even think this ordinance should be here, but, so that's my reasoning that I will be voting no.
Okay. Mr. McGuigan asked me to put this one on tonight, and I so chose to do that. So I understand. Councilman, any other comments?
Charlie, I also will be voting no on this when it comes up. I was on this committee, and this was one of the main topics that we considered was the length of time. And it was decided back then that 3 days was just perfect, and that anything more than that would be much too long, so.
Okay. Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'll be voting yes to introduce this, but I will be voting no to it at the next meeting, and that is only because I enjoy a good beatdown from the audience. So, that's my statement.
Okay. Any other comments? All right, not hearing any other comments. I'm going to ask for a roll call here, please. Madam Clerk?
Sure. Councilmember DePamphlis.
No?
Councilmember Johnston.
No.
Councilmember Dill.
Yes.
Councilmember McGuigan.
Yes.
Councilmember Owen.
Yes.
Councilmember Garrity.
Yes.
Council President Habercorn.
Yes, and I just want to comment, over the next 2 weeks, everybody has the opportunity to bring forth their ideas. Many municipalities are dealing with short-term rentals. There is a toolbox of different things that can be done. I'm not going to get into all the different tools at this meeting, but I, too, like Kirk, would like to hear from the public as it relates to this, because there is some evidence out there, be it generic and anecdotal, that neighborhoods do suffer from having short-term rentals. That doesn't mean I'm against short-term rentals, but I think we need to look at this again and see, maybe there's different neighborhoods, maybe there's different rules. So I did vote for it, but I guess I'm going to be like Kirk. We're going to,
Can I just make one correction?
yes, sir.
That's not why. Nothing the public says is going
Oh.
to sway me on this.
Okay.
But sometimes you just have to let the public speak and do
Okay.
that. And the other one is a selfish reason that I want everybody to know that I will be a no vote on this at the next meeting, is because I'm going on vacation next week.
Oh.
And I don't want to get bombarded with phone calls with people thinking that I'm in favor of voting for this when I am not.
Got it.
But I do enjoy the emails. So I will read them when I get back.
All right.
But, you
So
know,
ordinance 13 is introduced,
well,
correct?
I know, but Councilman Garrity saying he wanted this second reading to be when he's back.
Well, he will be back.
I will be back.
Because it's 3 weeks to our next meeting,
Yeah.
Mr. Solicitor.
You don't plan
Okay.
on missing a meeting?
No?
May I have a motion to open up to the public for resolutions at this time?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Excuse me, not hearing any opposed. We are now open for public comments on resolutions only. Take your time, Pat.
The resolutions are the ones you just read, right?
No, those were the ordinances, ma'am.
Oh, okay, so the resolutions, all right, then, okay, so I can talk to the ordinances in a private time.
Well, the ordinances will be up for review at the next meeting on the second reading. That's when the public has the opportunity to speak.
All right, on the resolutions, 137, 138, and 139, can you please have Jason or somebody put the prices on these, the contract numbers there, but people ask, can they please see the prices of these vehicles that you're buying? Now, it's estimated, you know that.
Right.
But people who look at the budget, and they look at it and look at it, and they call me up and ask me what I say it, so I'm saying it.
Okay. It is on the
They
resolution.
said it was asked for before, and it hasn't been done.
It is on the resolution, the pricing.
It is on, the well, how,
You can ask the clerk for any of the resolutions prior to the meeting, once they're posted. Once the agenda's posted, if you have a question, you can reach out to the clerk, and the clerk will send you, correct, Madam Clerk?
Sure.
Whatever you need, or you can come into City Hall and pick it up. I will address what we're trying to do online and things a little later, but that's the process right now. Once the agenda is out there, you can contact the clerk's office, and Ms. Shelby here would be able to give you the full detail of any resolution or ordinance at that time.
All right, so then I'll just say that prices are, you have to go to the clerk's office and get them. Is that nice for the general public? Suppose they want to see how much.
That's been our process for as long as I think we've been doing this.
Quite honestly, the reason why they do that is if a lot of times the resolutions change.
Yep.
So by 5 o'clock.
Prices change too, right?
Now, the prices,
No, the
well,
prices-
sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Sometimes might be an error in the resolution that gets picked up, and we would hate to put out false news, because you know what happens with false news. So that's why when you contact Shelby in the office, she can give you the latest, or she could say, wait a second, they're going to make a change here. As soon as this change comes, then I will send that to you. So that way, they're giving you the right information. That's why that's done like that.
And we, I'll cover this a little later on what we're trying to do to stop any of the changes. We're working on a process there, Pat, so.
All right, that's all for me for right now.
Okay. Anybody else from the public want to get up and talk about resolutions? Not seeing anybody. May I have a motion to close for public on resolutions?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, we are now closed for public session on resolutions. Shelby, number 133, please.
Resolution number 133 of 2025, authorizing executive session, advice of counsel and attorney-client privilege communication regarding the status of litigation involving the city entitled GMH Restaurant Holdings LLC, GMH Restaurant Enterprises, Gary M. Holloway versus the City of Summers Point, having a docket number of ATL-C-37-25.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, resolution number 133 is approved. Number 134.
Resolution number 134 of 2025, authorizing executive session, advice of counsel and attorney-client privilege communication regarding the status of litigation involving the city entitled Summers Point Diner, Inc. versus the City of Summers Point et al., having a docket number of ATL-L-597-25.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, resolution number 134 is approved. Before we go to 135, we will be going into executive session at the end of the meeting. We don't believe that we'll be coming out with any action after that, but you're more than welcome to wait after the meeting until we reconvene. All right, where are we? Shelby, 135.
Resolution number 135 of 2025, amending the authorization of purchase through the use of state contract vendor Hertrich Fleet Services, Inc. pursuant to NJSA 40A11-12A and NJAC 534-7.29C for the Summers Point construction offices.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that
May
motion.
I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, resolution number 135 is approved. 136 was removed. Let's go to 137, please.
Resolution number 137 of 2025, authorizing purchase of waste collection vehicles through the Sourcewell Cooperative National Purchasing Program contract from Grand Turk Equipment Co., Inc., contract number 110223-LEG for the City of Summers Point.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, resolution number 137 is approved. Number 138, please.
Resolution number 138 of 2025, authorizing purchase of cab and chassis vocational and medium-duty trucks, Class 6, 7, and 8, through the Sourcewell Cooperative National Purchasing Program contract from Hunter Trucks, contract number 032824-PMC for the city of Summers Point.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, resolution number 138 is approved. 139, please.
Resolution number 139 of 2025, authorizing purchase of sewer inspection and maintenance equipment through the Sourcewell Cooperative National Purchasing Program contract from Jet Vac Equipment, contract number 120721-EVS for the city of Summers Point.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Yeah, I'll comment on that.
Go ahead, sir.
Well, the last three resolutions are purchased through a cooperative, am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. And those prices are basically set by the cooperative, and we purchase from them, is that right?
That's true. So these cooperatives, they basically leverage their purchasing power because there's multiple entities
Right.
that can fall underneath it, and then you get a discount based off that
Right.
negotiation.
And we save by going through a cooperative rather than bidding or taking bids ourselves.
Absolutely.
Okay, and the final question is, all these purchases or resolutions to purchase were budgeted in this year's budget, am I correct?
And these are new, these are all things that were budgeted and discussed at our budget meetings.
Yeah, okay. Just for clarification, thank you.
Any other comments? Not hearing any other comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, resolution number 139 is approved. May I have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Not hearing any comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, the consent agenda is approved. Old business, I do have an old business item. Last meeting, we had a gentleman come in and speak about the toy box. After meeting with the safety committee and upon legal advice, the toy box will not be allowed to be back on the beach. That was old business. Anybody else have any old business?
I don't have any old business, but I have a question.
Yes,
On the list that you provided, I'm on the safety committee,
I know.
and I wasn't asked anything about
I
it.
thought I was on the safety committee also.
Me too.
Well,
No, I'm only kidding.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Could-
So
we
you-
brought
It's the
the,
mayor and,
we need to
I brought
straighten out.
the department heads together, was that not all the safety committee?
That was the, well, it was Shelby as well.
Yeah.
The insurance,
That was
I'm
insurance,
sorry.
not
Safety.
I'm
public
sorry.
safety.
not the
Insurance
committee.
group I had together, I'm sorry.
No, that's
I
fine.
misspoke.
No, that's fine.
I promised the gentleman I would get everybody together.
Okay.
We went through it, sorry about that.
There's a tier,
If
tier
there's a
one,
third, we'll
tier
get you on
two,
one.
and tier
I
three.
I apologize, Mr. Garrity, that I should have said the insurance committee, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Any other old business? No, okay, any new business? I have a couple on here. One is the approval of the extension of premises application for the Anchorage Tavern on 6/8/2025 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. May I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Is the chief okay with this?
Yes.
Okay, so we're good there. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, the resolution is approved, or the extension is approved. Talking about affordable housing, Summers Point must have a housing plan for round 4 submitted no later than June 30th as required. Summers Point professionals, the planner, and the affordable housing attorney are working on their plan. The plan is rather detailed and data intense. The Summers Point Planning Board and City Council must approve that plan. In order to afford the Summers Point professionals, the planner, and the affordable housing attorney as much time as possible to develop and present the plan, the Planning Board will be holding a meeting on June 26th at 6 p.m. here in Chambers. The City Council meeting follows that night in order that we can have this approved prior to the 30th deadline.
Are we going to see are we going to get more information
Yeah, well,
before that? or-
We should have it about 7 days ahead of time, and that's why we wanted to give our professionals enough time to put everything together. We are working on that data right now. There's requests coming in all the time for the business administrator to get details over to the planner. So we are working on that.
Actually, what you could tell them is that this is actually being rushed. You know, Darling Green needs about 6 weeks to put this plan together, and us, as well as probably every other municipality in the state, had filed for an extension, and COA denied the extension, so it's to June 30th, and that's why we got to have that planning board meeting on the 26th at 6 o'clock, so that way we can get it through there. And that's just following procedure where they'll look at it and say yes, basically, but it has to be done like that. So that way we can get it done, that way this council can get it done that night,
Yep.
and then get that filed without us being in violation.
So we're working hard on that to get it done in an expedited manner.
Just-
Anybody else have any new business?
I have one item, I just wanted to bring.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we've moved from the gate system to the, basically the sticker system for our programs. There are 4 or 5 people who have requested reimbursements from last year, and there was a consensus among, council members I spoke with, to basically give those folks passes for the 2025 season. I just wanted to bring that up. I didn't want anyone to think I'm doing something without being transparent. I wanted to make sure there's a consensus that everyone's okay with that.
And the reason for that is that when they used whatever last year, they weren't able to, or what?
Correct, yeah,
Okay.
they weren't able to use it, or they had issues. So there's, and Dennis is aware, we
Yep.
received some of the complaints as well. So
Same.
he knows the people I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Does anybody have any problems with that? I think that's fair.
It's really the
correct?
right thing to do.
Anybody over here have any problems with that, or is everybody good with what Jason just talked about? Okay, we're good to go on that, Jason. Any other new business? If not, how about discussion of the bills, Mr. Frost? And
Certainly.
glad you can make it for this part of the meeting, thank you.
Yeah, so this evening we have a bill list in the amount of $3,355,147.63, as well as a record of payments in the amount of $27,048.07.
All right, can I have a motion to open up for public comment, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, we are now open for public comment. Pat, take your time, don't rush.
Tricia Pearson, 587 Marks Road, Summers Point. Carmen and Nancy worked 30 years and finally got the whole pie, everything. They have put this city on the map in this United States of America, and I want you to think up some way, somehow, of making sure that we're grateful.
Remember, we need to thank Nick Regine, too, because he's the one who originally started the beach concerts also.
Say what?
We need to thank Nick Regine also.
Yeah, sure, Nick Regina, yeah, you have to thank Nick Regina and Kathy Orleth.
Absolutely.
For starting Bayfest, for starting the Jazz Festival. That is true. But Carmen and Nancy are #1 in the country right now from USA Today.
That's what I said earlier.
So there's 2 different things. We're lucky here. We are so lucky for all of those people. So I just want you to figure that out. All right, now, there's loads and loads of flags at the hospital. They have all the flags out for Memorial Day all over the lawn. And Job Lot, a new breakfast restaurant at the Bay, and are open. They're opening this weekend. And the Arawak thing, you will be blessed when that's done. You will have no more
Listen, you're going to be blessed. You got to drive that 12 times a day. I avoid it anymore, but
I was
But
thinking the
people
same thing.
from Summers Point and everything, everybody talks about that. It wasn't done right in the beginning, and it's just a mess, and it's getting fixed,
that's because
so.
they didn't have Greg Schneider as their engineer.
Yeah,
I
you
can
took
tell you that
the
right.
words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's it, me and Havercorn, we're trying to keep you
If
quiet.
it wasn't for our engineer had taken care of it, it would have been taken care of right.
Greg, they're setting you up,
It
you
is a
realize
serious-
that.
No, you're absolutely right. I got to.
Serious situation, and it's getting done, and that's perfect, okay? Now, on this ordinance, number 13, first of all, thank Kurt for his comment, thank Janice, and thank
You.
Rick.
You.
He's not here often.
Hey, you.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
You're often enough.
Anyhow, I want to ask you a question. Short-term rentals, okay, so you want to amend it or change it up or something. Okay, I think you should leave it the way it is, but that's only me. But all I want to make sure is that you contact every single Airbnb person in this town.
obligation to
Not
do
just
that.
put it up here quietly with nobody in the place. They have to know, these are investments that these people have. They depend on their summer rentals. If you're going to extend it or make it miserable for them, or put them out of business, or whatever you're trying to do, they have to have somebody to know this. So anybody who has a license, or they should be contacted to come to the next meeting. You have to be fair, and you can't blindside people. And that's the truth. So I wanted to tell you that. And that is everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Mr. Hopkins?
Rob Hopkins, 123 East Myron. We got a black eye with the parking lots. We got our feet kicked out from under us with the boat gate. Don't let us get kicked in the nuts with short-term rental, overreach. Do your research, look into it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Mr. Fox? I know you haven't said your name yet, but go ahead.
And you don't have to be sworn in tonight.
No.
Great. Do I look like I'm ready to be sworn in? I wasn't even going to talk.
Sworn out, but not sworn in.
First thing, Boatgate. I love that. We need to keep using that just to refer to the entire thing that happened so that does not happen again. In terms of the short-term rental, I want to be real clear that I do not have very strong feelings about this. I, like some members of the council, am very curious to hear what the wider community has to say, including both those who are investors, say, in short-term rentals, and those who live in neighborhoods where there are different short-term rentals. I guess I would just offer that I can see different sides of this issue. I was a member of the original ad hoc committee that first discussed short-term rentals. Janice, how long
Yes.
ago was that? 6 years ago, maybe? It's probably
I
pre-COVID.
don't think it was that long.
Yeah, I think it was 2020, I think.
Was it
when
that
the
long?
resolution or the
Time
ordinance.
travels, yeah.
I know, right?
Okay.
It just goes by so quick.
Yeah, really, I didn't realize it was that long, but yes, you were part of that, yeah.
And so, in that time, we've been able to see and kind of reflect, and again, I don't know that my view has changed, but I'm open to hearing more, and I just want to also raise a couple points in terms of, though I do not represent either group here tonight, I sit on both EDAC and the Historical Preservation Commission, so I can see the side from EDAC of wanting to promote economic development. Having said that, I can also see the side whereby having so many short-term rentals in Summers Point could deter someone who might be interested in building a larger hotel or something along those lines that has previously been discussed along, say, MacArthur Boulevard. I'm just offering that as an example. But, and then from the perspective of people who live in the community, I think there is concern that some of the real estate prices have been rising so quickly, in part because people are specifically purchasing homes as investments for Airbnbs. And that's worth keeping in mind as we continue this conversation. So I appreciate the chance to offer those points, and thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Fox. I don't believe I see any other.
Motion to close the
Oh,
public.
wait a minute, got one back here. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yep, there we go.
Adam gets his 227 East Rosedale, Norfolk. You guys are gonna make these people pay for the boat ramps. You gotta put at least some sort of restroom there. It's not fair for these females that when they get off the boat with their husbands, they can't go to the bathroom. But something's gotta happen. it's not fair just for the voters, but the people who walk the bridge. There's no, where are they going, where do you guys expect them to use the bathroom at? It's just, it's not fair.
Thank you.
Motion to close the public portion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now closed for public session. We have a motion to pay the bills.
So
Move
moved.
that motion.
Have a
Second.
Thank you, Jim. Got beat me to it there. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Not hearing any opposed, we can pay the bills, Mr. Frost. Any comments from the governing body?
Yes,
Go ahead, Mr. Gill.
We're going to fill it up again.
Mr. Frost, I understand your daughter got a presentation tonight, and that was the reason why you're late, but I think you should be very proud of your family and especially your daughter tonight.
Thank you very much, Howard.
Okay.
I let the cat out of the bag a little bit on that. Broke you.
Family first.
Good of the order, Council President.
Yes, sir.
My youngest daughter graduates University of Delaware tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yay.
Hey,
Congratulations.
So are you done with college now?
No, she'll be going on for 2 more years be a physician's assistant.
Oh, wow.
It's what comes between the nurse and the doctor, so
All right.
I'm really proud of her.
So you got 2 more years on council for sure.
I was running for 3, so you got it.
All right.
He's got-
Any other,
Oh, let me tell you all about my kids. No.
got it.
Well, absolutely.
This isn't your mayor's meeting, Mayor. All right, let's,
As strong council week, Mayor, you ever remember hear that?
Boy, they keep reminding you of that.
He's the epitome of a week mayor, too.
okay, all right, so we're done with.
We used to be
We're
friends,
done with the
pal.
comments.
I gotta say.
All right, sit down for a second.
Resist.
All right.
more?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go into executive session after a brief recess, and I'm letting everyone know again, they're welcome to wait out in the lobby. I don't think we're going to be taking any action when we come back, but you're more than welcome to wait out there. I do appreciate all the comments. It's great to have people get up and talk, and we're going to be over, Bob, the 2 of us to do rounds this week with one of the doctors, so that should be interesting. Just keep us away from the patients, okay? So with that, we're going to take a brief